Yo, what's good guys, and welcome back to the Xetro Beats TV. Like always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And today I want to make a more in-depth video just on the 808. So you will finally understand how to make your 808 stand out, how to make it sound hard, that slap in your face, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. First of all, we need to create our 808 pattern that I didn't create. So first thing, I'm gonna take one of my loops and then I'm gonna add the 808 to it. So let's find something. This is one of the loops I put in my Patreon, because if you don't know, I have a Patreon channel where I put royalty-free samples every week. And then you can also receive beat reviews, project files, discount on all my kits. And I also add a new feature where you can send me your project and I will record a video while I'm fixing it. So I think this is the best way you can improve your beats. So if you're looking to improve and to have a professional sound, I advise you to take a look in the description. I leave you the link of my Patreon there. Anyways, let's get back to this tutorial. First thing when you add your 808 is that you have to make sure it's on scale. Usually the 808 sample are always in C, so the notes that the 808 sample is playing is always a C. For example, in my kits, it's always in C, so you don't have to tune it or something else. You can just put it in the channel rack and create your pattern. If the sample is not in C, you have to open your 808 sample, go here in Edit in Audio Editor, and you will open up Edison. Basically, to see the note that the 808 is playing, you have to do like that. Go here, and then you have to click on Detect Pitch Regions. So you will see the note that the 808 is playing, and like I said, is a C. But let's say that is not a C, but is a D, all right? So if it's a D, you have to go here in this section and select the D right there. Sorry, this one. You have to select the D. So when you go in your piano roll, if you play a C, it will be a C. If you play a D, it will be a D, and so on. If you don't do the thing I just showed you and the 808 is in D, when you're going to put a note in C, it will play a D. So pay attention to that. Second thing you have to do is to right-click on the 808 sample and activate the cut itself option, because if you don't do that, it will happen this. You know what I'm saying? But if you activate this one, basically this note stops the note before, so every note don't overlap itself, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so we just create our pattern. As you can hear, the 808 is there, but it doesn't hit like it should does. So if you want to make your 808 hit harder, the thing I always do is to open the 808 sample, go in this section, and here you can decide. Basically it's the same thing. You can boost this knob or you can boost this knob. They sound good in both cases. The only thing is that this boost knob is very aggressive, so even if you put like at 10%, it's super aggressive, you know, too much. So if you use this one, you have to turn down the volume knob and find the perfect spot. Or you can boost this EQ knob and just find the right spot. Then you can play with the out knob to find the perfect length and to not make like the 808 too much invasive, but I mean you still have that initial punch, but you cut a little bit the tail. After we do this thing, obviously our 808 will clip. I mean, its level will go above the 0 dBs. So now we are almost at 3 dBs. But on the master we have our soft clipper that basically keep everything at 0. Basically it crashed the 808 at 0 dBs, and that's why we have this sound, because if I remove it, it sounds like that. It sounds similar, but it sounds a little bit too much distorted. But with the soft clipper, everything sounds perfect without that distortion, and nothing is actually clipping. About the mixing part, I usually don't do nothing. I just put the 808 in mono with this knob. So I make sure that the 808 sound in the center, because the 808 is an instrument that you put it in the center. Basically it's the base of the beat, and the bass must sound the center. I mean, you can also play with it, I don't know, you can like, if you, for example, in the drill, usually the slides or even some notes are in stereo. I mean, there's no rules in music, you can do whatever you want, but usually in my beats, I keep my 808 in mono and also my drums. On the 808 channel, I usually don't put nothing, but because it sounds good like that. But you can also play with some effects if you want. I mean, if I want to add a distortion, I can do it. It might sound good. For example, if you want to add some distortion to your 808 to reach a certain sound, you can do it. And basically now you have a new 808 with another texture. So sometimes it's just about experimenting with what you have, and that's it. But yeah, in this case and basically in all my beats, I usually don't put anything on my 808s because the samples already sound good like that. If I want some more distorted 808, I already have some samples that already sound distorted, for example this one. So I don't have to put effects, I just choose the sample based on what I want to create. Now let's see a couple of techniques you can use to make your 808 patterns even more interesting. The first thing is to control the length of the notes. So to control the length of the notes, you have to open your 808 sample, go in this section and put these knobs like that. So every knob at 0 and the old knob at max. So now I can control the 808 length. And as you can hear, basically when the note's finished, the 808 stop playing. So let me just put every note long with the shortcut that is Command L, right? Or Control L on Windows. So basically now it sounds like before. And then you can just play with the note length to create some interesting bounce. This technique is very useful when you have to create some variation in your 808 pattern. For example, in the verses, maybe you can keep long notes in the hook and then put short notes in the verses. So it's very useful for that, in my opinion. Another technique is to add some slide note. I like to use the slides in the end of the 5th bars or in the end of the 8th bars. So let's try. To make a slide note, you have just to double click a note and activate this option. So this becomes a slide note. And you have to layer the slide note with a normal note to make it work. So that's why I add this one. And when you put the slide notes below a normal note, it creates this kind of slowdown effect. And more low we go, and more powerful will be this slowdown. And if we put the slide note above the normal note, basically it will sound like this. We will go from the E to the B. And also you can play with the length of the slide note to change the effect. So more short will be the slide note and more fast will be the transition from a note to another. Same thing if we put it below. Last technique you can use is to create some kind of reverse 808 notes. To create the reverse effect, you have just to take a note, you press Alt A, you cut it like that, and then you play the velocities, and you have to create something that looks like this. So in this 808 pattern we have everything. So we have the note length controlled, we have the reverse 808 note, we have the slide notes. So if you combine all these techniques together, you can create a very interesting 808 patterns. So that's it guys. If you found this 808 guide helpful, please leave a like to this video. Let me know in the comments if you know other techniques. Don't forget also to join my Discord if you want to receive some free stuff. I usually put some free samples there. You can also receive beat feedbacks from the member of the community. So if you want to join the community, I'll leave you the link in the description, and see you in the next video guys.